Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Reese's Random Reviews. I'm Reese and I'm about to give you a quick random countdown. Now I was going to do a top 10 countdown, but then I thought it'd be fun to just do a top 5 because otherwise it was quite hard for me to pick on this list about what was my favourite Steven Spielberg movies, because that's the countdown, my top 5 favourite Steven Spielberg films. So it was really hard for me to go through the list and see which one was my favourite of the top 10. So I thought, to make it easy and quick, just do a top 5. So here is my top 5 favourite Steven Spielberg films. Okay guys, instead of rambling on, let's get down with the countdown. So, let's start off with number 5. AI, artificial intelligence. Now, I know Stanley Kubrick actually had the original idea for AI, artificial intelligence, but Steven Spielberg, I think, did a really great job on working on AI. AI is a beautiful, emotional film. I love this movie. It pretty much makes me cry nearly every time I see it because it's all about a son bonding with his mum in a way, and I'm also very close to my mum, so in a way, it's kind of hits you that emotional nerve when you're very close to your parents or you love your parents. And yeah, that's why the film kind of hits me. It's a beautiful made film. The cinematography is amazing. The performance that Haley Joel Osment, I think that's his name, who plays David, is incredible. Jude Law in this movie, I think, is fantastic in this film. Steven Spielberg really did a good job on making this film very Stanley Kubrick-y. Even though it doesn't have that sort of Stanley Kubrick look, it's kind of almost there, just with a bit of Steven Spielberg charm to it. Jaws, number 4. So yeah guys, Jaws is number 4 because this is an amazing classic Steven Spielberg film. But it's not just that. This movie has something that I love about movies. It's just the character build-up is incredible. The relationship between characters is incredible as well. And the suspense of the fact you hardly see the shark is incredible. Steven Spielberg done a fantastic job with this movie. He really knew how to make a great build-up, a great story using a lot of suspense. And I'll tell you one thing, this movie reminded me so much of an Alfred Hitchcock film. I swear Steven Spielberg got his influences from his filmmaking from Alfred Hitchcock. If you've also remember, I did a review last year about his first ever movie, Duel. Duel was his first ever film about the man who gets chased by the truck. And Steven Spielberg did get the idea of Jaws using Duel, but it's the fact of that sort of Alfred Hitchcock suspense that he did so well that Steven Spielberg also used to put into his films. That's what makes Steven Spielberg great, is that he was pretty much the next Alfred Hitchcock in the 70s and the 80s. He really knew how to build up a big suspense, and Jaws is definitely the king of the movies when it comes to suspense. Jurassic Park: The Lost World. Now I know a lot of people hate this movie, but I personally love this movie. This is one of my favourite films. I love Jurassic Park: The Lost World, and I don't really see anything wrong with this movie. Now, I don't think I've actually talked too much about the Jurassic Park films, so I'm going to try and dive into this. Jurassic Park: The Lost World is an incredible film in my opinion. The reason is because Steven Spielberg was trying to make a completely different film from the first movie. Most people complain about sequels, thinking they're too much like the same as the first one. Oh, you know, they're both the same, blah, blah, blah. Well, do you know what? I actually don't see that because in a way, I think Steven Spielberg done a great job making two completely different films. There's more dinosaurs, there's more characters, there's more humans, there's more great emotion, epicness, a bigger scale. This movie is great because it feels bigger and stronger, and I love The Lost World. It is definitely a guilty pleasure for me. I don't care that people hate this movie. I personally love Jurassic Park: The Lost World, and that's why to me it is actually in my top 3 because it's number 3 on this list. Since we're talking about Jurassic Park, might as well talk about the first movie because it's number 2. I grew up with this movie. Jurassic Park is a massive childhood film of mine, as much as The Lost World was. Jurassic Park, you cannot say it's not one of your favourites because everybody loves this movie, and I know why, because it was so different, so original, and so massively suspenseful and incredible that it was probably one of the biggest blockbusters ever released that time. And it also was one of the highest grossing movies that year until Titanic came and beat it years later. But honestly, Jurassic Park is an incredible movie. and I think everyone knows about that, so you can't blame me for having it as number 2, surely. My favourite Steven Spielberg film, Warhorse. Now, you're probably thinking, out of all the Steven Spielberg films, why Warhorse? Well, let me tell you why. This movie is the most beautiful Steven Spielberg film, in my opinion, ever made. The camera work, the cinematography, the locations, the horse, the characters, the emotion, the journey, the story is all what I love when it comes to a movie. This movie is what I love about movies. Warhorse has got to be one of the most amazing, beautiful movies ever made. It is done in such a wonderful scale, in such a beautiful structure, and it's done in such the most beautiful way that you can't help but just watch it and just feel what you see. Like, you know, you must feel emotion, or you must feel like you're on your edge of your seat, or you must at least think that this movie is just incredible. I love Warhorse. I've loved it ever since I first watched it. I remember recording it when I was down at my dad's and I put it on and I watched it, and I actually watched it twice. I watched it the night I watched it, and I watched it again the next morning, because that is how much I loved Warhorse. When it's normally on, I always normally put it on all the time. I love it. It is a beautiful made film, and I think Steven Spielberg done an amazing job with this movie, and that's why I think it deserves to be number 1. So that's my favourite Steven Spielberg film. Anyway guys, now I've just talked about my favourite top 5 Steven Spielberg films. Tell me what your favourite Steven Spielberg films are. I'd like to hear what you guys think. Comment below guys and tell me, and thank you so much as well guys for watching my videos. I'm sorry that I've been kind of distant lately. As I said, I'm in the middle of actually making a film. I'm also taking part in a 48-hour challenge later this weekend. Also, I've got some more random reviews coming up definitely, but I've just been really busy at the moment, but I'm still here, still making videos, so please guys, still keep an eye out. More videos are on the way. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching my videos. I can't believe that I'm almost again up to 200 subscribers. I'm so happy. So don't forget to subscribe if you're new to this channel, because a lot of actors and filmmakers will love this channel because I make films and I review them as well. And I am Reese. I have just given you another random countdown. Cheers guys.